Hello everyone, this is Dr. N. Srinivas, Associate Professor, the Department of ECE, Marlakshman Reddy Institute of Technology and Management, Autonomous Institution. I am here to discuss some more important topics in Signals and Systems course. As we know that this course will be studied in BTech second year first semester. We have already discussed two classification of signals. One is periodic and aperiodic signal, deterministic and non-deterministic signals. Now, two more classifications will be discussed now. The third one is even and odd signals, right? Now, what is the even signal? What is the odd signal? The condition for even signal is g of t is equal to g of minus t, right? So when g of t is equal to g of minus t, then that signal is said to be even signal. When g of t is equal to minus g of minus t, then that signal is said to be odd signal, right? So for example, I am showing one signal, whether it is even or odd, let me check, right? So what is the condition for even signal? G of t is equal to g of minus t. So if g of t is original signal, g of minus t is the mirror image of g of t, right? So whatever the values in the positive side, you can see in the negative side. This is a mirror for each and every point. So and g of t is equal to g of minus t means if you take a time reversal, you will get the same signal. Or if you fold this signal with respect to y, each every point will be matching with the negative side also. So then this signal is called even signal. You will take one more example. For example, this is a cos signal. This is a cos signal because at t is equal to 0, then we are having some value, maximum value. Now if you fold with respect to y-axis, what do you get? Each and every point will be overlap, or each and every point will be matching, right? So this portion is a mirror image of this portion. This portion is a mirror image of this portion. So this is called even signal. Similarly, if you take odd signal, g of t is equal to this. G of t is the signal like this. Now we find what is minus g of minus t. You take g of minus t. Okay, so g of minus t means a time reversal. This becomes this becomes this, means folding with respect to y-axis. After folding, you keep as it is. Then what do? You have to take negative. That's why after folding, again you fold with respect to x-axis. Then this portion is matching with this portion after second folding. First folding is with respect to y-axis. Second folding is after folding, then first folding. Then again you fold with respect to x-axis. That is called odd signal because after two foldings, the signal is matching with this, right? So this is the example for odd signal. Now let's take one more example. So this positive portion, if you fold with respect to this, then this comes and this, okay? Then again you fold with respect to x-axis, then it comes here. So this is called odd signal. Now if you see even and odd parts, some signals having even signal part and odd signal part, right? So g of t is equal to g of t plus g of minus t by 2. That is the mathematical expression for even part. And g of t minus g of minus t by 2 is the mathematical expression for odd part, right? Now here very important statement, a function whose even part is 0. What I'm saying here, even part is 0. What is remaining? Odd is there. So then that function is nothing but odd function. And a function whose odd part is 0. Odd part is 0 means what is remaining? Even. So then that function is even function, right? Now various combinations of even and odd functions. Okay, before going to this, you just what you do, just add these two. G of t plus G O of t, odd part and even part, if you add, what do you get, you know? So G of minus t minus G of minus t by 2, these two are get cancelled. G of t by 2 plus G of t by 2, remaining, that is nothing but G of t. So G of t is having two parts, even part and odd part. Fine. Now we'll discuss various combinations of even and odd functions, right? If you take two signals, function type is both even. What is the meaning? We have taken two signals, right? And two signals are even. Now what is the sum? If you take sum of two signals, then is it a even signal or odd signal? So here even signal. And if you take difference of two signals, you will get even. If you take product of two even signals, even. Quotient, if you take, then you will get even. Suppose if two signals are odd signals, then if you add, if you take sum, again you will get the odd signal, like that. Here odd, here even, here even. If you take one signal is even and another signal is odd, then what is the sum? Neither even, neither odd. So here difference, neither even, neither odd. If you take product of one even signal and odd signal, you will get odd. Quotient is also odd. This is a table gives the various combinations of even and odd functions. Now some other functions, if you take even and odd signals, if you apply derivation, derivative, or integration. If you take a derivation or a derivative of even signal is odd, integral of even signal is odd plus constant, derivative of odd signal is even, integral of odd signal is even. For example, even signal is a cos signal. Now if you take derivative, what do you get? You will get a sine signal. So sine signal is nothing but odd signal. So this is the example. Now we will discuss discrete time even and odd signals. Okay, now right, you have seen already continuous format. Now we'll go for discrete format. When a signal is said to be discrete signal is said to be even signal, g of n is equal to g of minus n, then that signal is called even signal. Otherwise g of n is equal to minus g of minus 1 is called odd signal, right? So even signal example, one signal shown here, graph is shown here, and odd signal example one signal is shown here. Now this portion, negative portion, is the replica, mirror image of this. So each and every point is matching with this. Okay, when you fold with respect to y-axis, all the points are matching with this, mapping with this, overlapping with this. So this is nothing but even signal. Similarly, this is also odd signal. Again, you fold with respect to y-axis, then with respect to x-axis you fold again. So two foldings required for odd signal proof. Okay, then this signal is called odd signal. Now again, in continuous, we have two parts in a signal, even part and odd part. In discrete time also, you are having two signals. So one is g of n plus g of minus n by 2, g of n minus g of minus n by 2, odd part and even part. Now even and odd signals, if you take combination of even and odd functions for discrete. So here, like in continuous case, so already we have seen a table. Here discrete time also we are seeing a table. When two discrete signals are even, if you take sum, you will get even. If you take difference, even. Product, even. Quotient, even. Like that, different operations we are applying, and different types of signals we are taking. So this is a table for understanding, knowing the combinations of even and odd functions for discrete time signals. Now product of two discrete time even functions. If you take product, this is one even signal, this is another even signal, g1 of t, g2 of t, but this is a multiplier. When you supply these two signals to the multiplier, the resultant signal is even signal, because here product is even when two signals are even, right? So if you fold with respect to y-axis, only one folding is required in case of even signal. So each and every point will match, each and every point will match, each and every point will match. That's why this signal is even signal. So similarly, if you take two odd signals, this is odd signal 1, odd signal 2, when you multiply, you will get a even function, because if you go back, see what is there, both odd functions are there. If you multiply, you will get even. So that's why we are getting even signal. Similarly, if you take even and odd, then you will get a odd signal. This is even, this is odd. You multiply, you will get a odd function. Right, some proof of examples, proofs given with examples. Uh, Proof that product of two even signal is even. So x of t is equal to x1 of t into x2 of t. Two signals are even. Now you prove that product is also even, means x of t is also even. So now you apply even condition. You take folding with respect to y-axis or time reversal, minus t, minus t, minus t on both sides. Then x1 of minus t, x1 of t is even, that's why x1 of minus t is also condition satisfied. X1 of t is equal to x1 of minus t. So finally you get x1 of t. Similarly x2 of t. This is nothing but x of t. So x of minus t is equal to x of t. So x of minus t is equal to x of t is nothing but what? Even. So hence proved that product of two even signals is even. Similarly, product of two odd signals is also even. So product of two odd signals, same signals I have taken, and a minus t, minus t, minus t also taken, but x1 of minus t is nothing but minus x1 of t. Okay, now x1 of t into x2 of t, minus minus into minus plus, so x of t, it is nothing but even. So like that, what is the product of an even signal and odd signal? Prove it, we will get odd. Right, energy and power signals. Here we are showing energy signal. So how do you define energy signal? This is one type of classification in signals and systems, okay, in signals. So this is the fourth classification. A signal with finite energy and zero power is called energy signal. A signal with finite energy means it lies between 0 and infinity, that energy, and power should be 0, then that signal is called energy signal. Signal energy of a signal is defined as the area under the square of the magnitude of the signal. So this is the formula for the calculation of energy. Area under the square of the magnitude of the signal. So square of the magnitude, area means integral minus infinity to infinity dt. The units of signal energy depends on the unit of the signal. And power signal, if you take power signal, how do you define it? Some signals have infinite signal energy. In that case, it is more convenient to deal with the average signal power. For power signal, so that is finite. What is that? Power is finite, but energy is infinite. So if you want to calculate average power of the signal, so Px, it is denoted with P, here energy is E. So limit t tends to infinity 1 by t integral minus t by 2 plus t by 2 magnitude x of t whole square dt. So periodic signals are generally power signals and t is any period of the signal. Now we have given one example for the calculation of energy and power. So example given, x of t is equal to e power minus 2t into u of t. Okay, so that equation given, that formula, I mean that x of t function is given. I want to calculate the what is the energy. So what is the energy formula, and we'll take some period, right? Minus t to plus t. So generally 0 to t, because for all t greater than or equal to 0 means positive time only taken. So minus t is not considering. So if you substitute x of t e power minus 2t, then you will get finally 1 by 4 minus e power minus 4t by 4. Now energy is equal to limit t tends to infinity minus t by t to 2 minus t to t mod x of t square dt, limit t tends to infinity. If you substitute, you will get 1 by 4 joules. Similarly, power P is equal to 0. So since energy is constant, because energy is constant and power is 0, the given signal is an energy signal. Signal energy and power of a discrete time signal. If you see discrete time signal, so same operation, same formulas. Instead of x of t, you have taken x of n, right? So here also x of n, but instead of integral term, you are taking summation, right? So here n is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity. Here 1 by t is there in the 1 by 2n. So n is equal to minus n to n minus 1. So for periodic signal, x of n is the signal, the average signal power is px is equal to 1 by n summation x of n magnitude square, right? So the notation sum means the sum over any set of consecutive ends exactly n in length. And thank you all for your listening and for your patience. And if you have any doubt, please contact me. And this is my mail ID, srinivas.nallagonda@mlritm.ac.in. Thank you all. Have a nice day.